Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was an African-American poet and social activist. His childhood was less than ideal, and he grew up in a time where racial tensions were high. Even his father, an African-American, hated his own race. Despite all the negativity, Hughes devoted his poetic career to celebrating the African-American people, and his works continue to be published all around the world to date. He refused to let his wings be broken by his circumstances. Langston chose to fly. In this room, I see young men and women who, at some point in their lives, had their wings broken by the world and unfavorable circumstances. I see people who had to limit their dreams because of their race, their socioeconomic status, mistakes they'd made, or simply because they weren't born in America. I see people who were crippled by a stereotype that stated, people like you are just good for taking jobs everyone else doesn't want. Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it. Helen Keller. For you to really understand the impact Europe has made on my personal journey, it would be fitting for you to take a glimpse into my story. My life has been far from normal, even from the beginning. I was the product of love, science, and God. My Nigerian father was a paraplegic, meaning he was paralyzed from the waist down. This meant that he couldn't have children normally. Therefore, he and my Nigerian mother had to go through numerous procedures in hopes that this would somehow fulfill their hopes of having a child. And as God would have it, with the help of numerous doctors at Mayo Clinic, I was born. And this set the pace for the unconventional life I would live. My mother and I moved from Arizona to Lagos, Nigeria when I was 6.5, so as to be reunited with my father who lived and worked there. It was definitely a culture shock, and I found myself struggling to fit in. My confidence plummeted, and I started trying my best to become more Nigerian. This became the least of my problems when, at 13 years old, I lost my best friend in a fire. Soon after that was a whirlwind of troubles. My father died from cancer, my mother's business was wrongly taken from her, and she and I were ridiculed and ostracized by family members, strangers, and society. We lost our home, our stability, and almost lost our hope. I will never forget one weekend where all my mother had on her for the weekend was 100 naira, which would be equivalent to about 28 cents today. Despite all the craziness, not one person I went to school with knew the struggles I was going through. I used school as my hiding place to run away from the craziness of real life. Eventually, with the help of my mother's perseverance and some helpers, I found myself back in the US for college on a partial scholarship. It was hard fitting in yet again, as now it seemed I wasn't American enough either. More trials came when I had to leave college after 1 week of orientation because I didn't have the money to pay for what the scholarship didn't cover. This eventually led me to having to drop out and work for a family friend as a nanny to help earn some money. During this time, I began to struggle with a deep depression and even became suicidal because I didn't have school to run to and hide from reality. Fate brought me to another opportunity, and I ended up going to ASU. It seemed like things were finally looking up, and I was rounding up my freshman year with good grades. I had a church family that loved me and taught me how to love myself and fight depression, and so many opportunities were opening up. Calamity hit again. I had to stop attending ASU, was over $20,000 in debt, and my hopes of getting a degree shattered. I was out of college for yet another year. This time, I wanted to give up. It seemed like I was just going to keep failing. It seemed like there was no point of trying. But some amazing people in my life inspired me to persevere. And in that calamity, I found an answer. I found Year Up. Through Year Up, I was blessed with a community of people who inspired me, motivated me, and really helped me to refine my talents that I never thought I had. Suddenly, I got to go to college and intern as a junior developer at PayPal. I walked in on my first day. I was nervous, unsure, and intimidated by the intelligent and seasoned professionals that surrounded me. But with time, I saw that all these people were eager to teach me what they knew and help me grow as a developer and a professional. It is with pride that I share with you that I will be working full-time as a junior developer for American Express next month. Year Up helped me discover my voice and helped me see that my words were important. At last, my voice was encouraged to be heard. And that's why I have the courage to address you here today. Remember that there are times where what was broken can be fixed. It can be healed. These soon-to-be graduates here found their healing in Year Up, a program that helped them see that they were more than what their circumstances had led them to believe. Year Up gave us an opportunity to see that we do deserve to thrive and that we do deserve to dream big. I look at all the guests in this room and I thank you. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for letting us heal. Thank you for celebrating this moment with us. My mom is in the crowd, and so is my church family. I don't know what I'd do without your support and your reminder that God has destined me to live a greater purpose in this world. Guests in the room, buckle your seatbelts. Today you're going to witness a spectacle. Today is the day that those wings that were once broken are going to take flight. The dreams once suppressed are going to be actualized. Today, we fly. We take flight towards a redefined future where we can live our dreams and help others see that they can too. Thank you, Year Up, for helping us finally see that these wings were destined for flying. Thank you.